I think it could work.
What do you think is, if you had to guess besides one, what do you think our time to beat is on the official Isaac clock?
I don't see a reason we couldn't beat Dogma Plus in under half an hour.
Okay, 30 minutes.
30 minutes, I think, is definitely doable.
Okay.
You should, yeah.
I will
go
yeah.
ahead, and then, oh no, we're good. Yeah, just keep moving. All right.
Okay. You're the conductor. I'll be the caboose.
Oh, you promise?
Oops.
I will say, like, I think a lot of people, you know, because Dan just told a story about how we got pulled over yesterday. A lot of people probably are a little smug there. Like, I've never been pulled over either. But I think
you've never been pulled over ever.
I've never been pulled over. But
wow.
I can't say that I've never made a mistake while driving for sure. Yeah. Like on the highway, I speed a little bit. I mean, like I do the thing that people do where I justify it. You know, like in BC, our highway speed limit is 90 kilometers an hour. It's like 51 or something like that.
51 miles.
Yeah, how are you supposed to get anywhere? People in the left lane are doing like 120, 130. So I'm just like, you know, I'm just trying to maintain the flow of traffic, or at least that's what I tell myself.
Is the left lane special or something in Canada?
There is. You should reroll.
Oh.
It's pretty bad, but you can take. There's an HOV lane, which is, you know, it's for EVs, it's for motorcycles, and it's for people with more than 2 people in their vehicle. 2 or more, I should say.
Okay. So it's
but they are like 4-lane highways, you know, depending on what part of the province you're in. So it's just, I'm like, 90 is it's on the low side for sure. Then you cross the border to get into Washington State, and they're like, the speed limit on the interstate is 70 miles an hour. And you're like, as soon as you hit it, you're like, I'll take, and you can take the HP, and you can take that.
Okay.
And we're doing Dogma Plus. Okay, that's no problem.
Let's get it quick avionics. Only time you'll ever hear me ask that. Okay, 2 minutes of floor.
That's pretty appropriate. 2 minutes is not bad here. I'll just take. It sucks. We'll come back with a reroll.
Okay.
Half an hour should be. I think it's doable. The hard part is just. I'm not gonna shoot anymore. The hard part is just good. Hard part is just making sure we can actually survive.
What's the fastest you've ever you think you've ever driven in your car on the freeway?
I bet while passing, I've done. Let's go reroll this. I bet while passing, I've hit, and go ahead, yeah. Maybe like 140 for. You know,
miles per hour?
No.
Oh.
Kilometers.
Okay.
Like if you have, sometimes you try to get past somebody on the freeway, and they have a micro, you know what? And when you try to get past them, even though they were going unbelievably slow up to that point, they hit the gas. Yeah, to be like, you're not getting past me. And I'm like, I don't want to get past you. I just want to get where I'm going faster. And you end up in this weird battle where you then have to choose, like, which one of us is gonna, you know,
bend the knee. Yeah,
exactly. I'm not against bending the knee. I just, you know, I mostly just want to arrive comfortably and safely. But you know, same happens with, dude. I've been walking the baby so much, and then you know, sometimes you try to walk past people, and I use the sidewalk to like check how they're walking. And I see them deviate. Like, you try to get past them, they start unconsciously, like, walking a little bit towards the left to block you. Then you go, that's fine, I'll swivel around, I'll go to the right. Then they start walking to the right around to try to block you. And I'm like, what's your problem, man? Just take both, see what happens. Okay.
Should have given you that 8-shot.
Well...
we didn't know.
Yeah.
We didn't know.
I don't know, I think maybe you need it to some extent.
Well, on the flip side, though, when I got pulled over, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel bad about speeding. I felt bad that it was in a school zone, because I'm like, that's like, I'll give up speed, but in a school zone, I'm like, come on, you know, like, which there's nothing I could do, dude. I didn't know. I mean, but so the fastest you've ever gone is 140 kilometers, which is what, like 90?
Yeah, maybe around there. What do you think for you though? What do you think you're at?
Well, is this incriminating evidence?
How long ago was it?
2 weeks.
I don't know. It's, just frame it however you want to frame it for.
So I'm not saying this
deniability.
I'm not saying this to me, but I have a friend named Stan,
right,
whose sister works at Ford.
Okay, sure.
And Stan was interested in checking out just checking out the electric Mustang Mach-E.
Right. Okay.
So Stan met with his sisters, whose boss had a electric Mach-E, just to test drive, just have some fun with it, because he's never driven. Yeah, you take that. And so it was it was Stan, his sister, and his sister's boss.
Reroll.
She's like, and the boss was like, hey, yeah, give it a whirl, like step on it. And he's like, well, I've never driven an electric car before. This thing can't really go that fast.
Yeah, 0 to 60 in like 2.5 seconds or something. It's like a roller coaster.
So, just for science, I just wanted to see if we could get it up to 3 digits. It was on an open road. No one was there on the freeway. But that's what Stan told me. So I would say 3 digits, but barely, like the closest 3 digits you could get.
That's that's cool, though.
I'm not a car guy or anything like that. I'm not like, oh, how much Hemi do you have in your horsepower?
Yeah.
That's not me, but,
Well, I know.
Kind of like, it's like going to Vegas and you go to one of those tracks. You're like, you'll punch it.
Our brother-in-law got a Model 3 Performance, I think, like 3 or 4 years ago. And, we had never been, let's just take, we'd never been in an electric vehicle before, and he was like, okay, we'll take you out for like a little ride. And then he hit the gas, and it was actually, it's the same, when you're not expecting it, it's the same feeling as when the roller coaster takes off. It's like, there's a different kind of technology involved that launches you with like, and there's no, there's no gear shifting, right? It's just like constant power. So you're just like, ring! And it gave me that feeling like when you go over a hill really fast in a car, and you can feel your, what's go like, inside of your body.
I always thought that was just your belly. I didn't know that was actually that moving up.
I don't know. I said that's just, it just feels uncomfortable. I don't like it. Anyway.
No, it was like a little, because I'd never been in an electric car, but to have it be silent and then like supercharged, like what the heck? It's just, technology's come so far.
I was talking about it with a colleague on Twitter, because they were talking about the new, I forget what the Ford truck is called, and not the F-150, but they have like another smaller model that they're doing. And I'm like,
the one that just came out, the Maverick?
Yeah, I guess the Maverick. Yeah. I literally can't buy another Ford vehicle as long as I live, because it would be like, it's just, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, like won't get fooled again. But I gotta admit, they do be looking kind of cool.
Look, there's some people in life who don't like good stuff, and that's okay. You fall in that category. It's okay. It's a no judgment zone, you know?
It's true. I don't like good things like them in discovery of the class action lawsuit, revealing that for 6 years their engineers were frantically emailing the executives saying, hey, we got to do something about these busted transmissions before we have a class action lawsuit, and the executives going, oh, sorry, I'm sending back an out-of-office auto reply. I'm taking the taxpayers' bailout money right now and going on a trip to the Cayman Islands. That's a real.
Sire, Ford is the only auto manufacturer that did not take bailout money. Not that it matters, but just for sake of accuracy.
The only one in America. I don't remember them bailing out Toyota either.
But side note, when you went to Japan a couple times, did you set an out-of-office message?
No.
And what did you tell David?
Hold my calls. If anybody calls, I'm not here.
How's our avionics? 8 minutes? We got good pace.
Dude, we're doing pretty well, honestly.
Have you ever been to Vegas?
I've been to Vegas 3 times.
Okay. Did you, when you went, what did you do in Vegas?
The first time I went with my parents, we saw Cirque du Soleil Mystère, which I think is like the original Cirque. So
is that like sensual?
No, I think that one is that one's O, I think, which is like it's like water themed but also horny. Mystere is like a twisted circus. It's the one, if you've ever seen Knocked Up, it's the one that they go see when they're high on mushrooms.
Okay.
There's like an obese clown that comes into the audience and laughs like right in your face and stuff like that. But it's it was amazing. Like it was really impressive. And then that was about it. Like I placed a bet on the 2010 World Cup for Portugal to beat Spain in the semifinals, and then Spain went on to win the whole tournament. So that was $40 down the drain. That was about it. Like, I hate to do this, but I'm like, I got all the damage right now.
No, take it.
Take the heart.
We're going for speed.
It was, and it honestly, like, it was just really hot. I did not have an amazing time, but it was okay. And then I went for Champions of Fire 1. And I had a better time there, but I really, like, I didn't get to explore too much because of the fact that we were, like, basically always on set. But it was fun. Wasn't
there like an after party that got a little wild, like kind of Wolf of Wall Street kind of wild?
Yeah, that's other participants have told me that, like, you know, there was some I don't know, some fun happening at that. Literally, so here's my entire knowledge of the after party from Champions of Fire 1. I'm remembering now because I thought you were talking about Cobalt, but you're actually, I remember we did that Warzone duo with Professor Broman. He was talking about how crazy it was at the after party, and I was like, where was I for this? It's trash, but you can pick it up for sure.
All right.
But I didn't really, like, even want to go to the after party because it was in, like, a nightclub inside of Caesar's Palace with, like, a transforming ceiling / disco ball. Anyway, so, like, I went to we were supposed to be, like, in the quote-unquote VIP lounge, so I was like, whatever, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience, I'll show up. I show up, and immediately the security guy is like, oh yeah, we don't have hats in here. You can't wear hats in there. And I was like, all right, fine. They patted us down, let us in. As soon as I got in there, 90% of the people in there were wearing hats. I was very upset. It was anti-bald discrimination, in my opinion.
What was on your hat that was so offensive?
I think it was probably just from H&M. It probably had like a made-up fake logo to look like it was like from Etsy or something like that. Anyway, I got in there. Music was so loud, like I could feel hot air hitting me in the face every time the bass thumped, and left probably within the first 10 minutes. I was like, there's no reason for me to be here. There were a lot of people standing around going, woo! And I'm showing restraint because I don't want to blow out your eardrums, but I was like, this is not for me. Like, this is for the people that ran the event. Like, to celebrate being done with the event. This is not for me who just, like, wants to go home and sleep in my bed, essentially. So that was my understanding of what happened at that event. But you should
roll it.
You should reroll. Yeah, great choice. Still garbage, but it is what it is.
Well, let me leave my trinket.
You don't need to.
So we have. You sure?
Yeah, I mean, we can get an extra item if you do, so it's probably worth it.
Okay. Leave it or no leave it?
I'll leave mine. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, get an extra item, but that sucked. But you know, for the people that were there, if they enjoyed it, there's no skin off my whatever. That
you didn't go to Final Fantasy Con with Kate?
I did. That was the third time I went to Final Fantasy Fan Fest.
F-Con?
It was not DEF CON, but I imagine it
F-Con.
had... Oh, F-Con. Yeah, well... And that was like... I don't know, like, I mean... I just have to say that I just think, like, I don't like Las Vegas. I think if you live there, it might be a different story, but... weirdly enough, like, as a tourist, I'm like... The gambling doesn't appeal to me basically at all.
Why is that?
I don't get I don't get the same dopamine response I think that some other people get. Not everybody, but
when you look at it, you see like numbers and probability, not fun.
Especially with slot machines, yes.
You do?
Yeah. I mean, I literally, my understanding of a slot machine is that essentially once you understand like a basic level of statistics and probability, why would you play it? It's literally just flashing lights designed to siphon 2 cents out of every dollar you put in the machine.
So here's how you play a slot machine. You look at the one that has the biggest jackpot, which means that no one's hit it in a long time. So then that's the one you play. Roll it?
Yeah, reroll. Still terrible. Worse to have it than to not have it.
So if there was an Isaac slot machine, you wouldn't play it?
No, because like I just play Isaac.
That's fair.
I just I mean the Willy Wonka slot machine might be the one exception. But I told the one Discord that we're in at least that like dude take this and then just don't stop till you're numb. This is a perfect speedrun item. Your damage is now 18.
Okay. Oh, this is what we gotta hurry.
Yeah, it's the perfect fit.
Okay.
So I think like oh wait, we can't go in there yet though. We need the teleport card.
Okay.
Sire.
Sire.
We I don't know. I don't get slot machines. At least table games, there's like almost like a social aspect to it. You can hang out, maybe have a couple of drinks and play with your friends and stuff like that. But the slot machine, like I don't know. I just see it as like it's like the same way you like mindlessly would shovel like corn-based snacks into your face and not even like remember how many of them you ate over the past 40 minutes. Like that's what a slot machine is in my head. It's like you are scratching an itch that the machine gave you. Great play.
Does Kate like to play?
She doesn't really gamble. Yeah, like I don't in the time. Well, I mean, we've only been to Vegas once together, but in the time that we were in Vegas, I don't think she gambled at all.
What you got something against corn-based snacks?
Well, like I love the taste of them, but you can eat a lot of them without knowing that you even started. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
I'm not knocking gambling, except to the obvious extent that like it does ruin some people's lives, I guess. But like it's just everyone has their vices, but gambling has never really struck me. I like most people, I think when they're thinking rationally, I feel the pain of a loss more than the thrill of a victory. You ready to do a little 3, 2, 1, go?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. And just do it.
Roll
again.
it.
No.
Roll it.
Just take. Let's swap though. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nice.
Then we'll.
AD.
I think we should peep boss rush instead, because we can get 2 items for 0 price if we walk into them at the same time.
Want me to roll?
You're so eager for the rolls, man. What's this guy? He loves the rolling. I mean, you should take this, the one that I'm on, and I'll take. Is
that
whatever.
inner ear?
It's well, let's just take it and then we'll talk.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. And we'll get the heck out of here.
Nice.
I should
get avionics real quick.
Oh yeah, we're at 16 minutes.
Okay.
You got an item. Every time you get hit, it raises your fire rate and your speed.
Permanently or just for the floor?
Just for that
room.
The room or the floor, but it's really, really good. As for like a long boss fight, obviously. I'm suffering now. I realize I left my Soul of Eve behind, which would have freaking destroyed the boss, but whatever.
Okay.
What's done is done. You can't live a life of regret like that.
We got to make sure we're doing good on speed, but do we have the brass to take them out?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
To me, there's something. Have you ever played craps?
Yes.
To me, there's something about playing D&D in real life with people at the table and their real life gold.
Well, you're rolling dice.
It's D&D.
It's not D&D. It's as much Monopoly as it is D&D, really.
Last time I checked, you don't. You take it. Oh. Yeah.
I can't believe it worked.
Last time I checked, you don't roll multiple dice in Monopoly.
Really?
Halfway through, I realized. But you roll more dice in D&D, right?
You roll different dice. In fact, if anything, it's more like Monopoly, because I don't remember you rolling a D20 in craps.
They should make...
Oh, dude. 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh.
Good starter. Good starter. Well, I think did I ever tell you my craps experience?
No.
Where like I had never played, so David Miyazaki took me to like the cheapest table in the casino and was like, "Oh, this will be fun." And then when we got there, like he was trying to explain the rules to me, and the dealer just kept like talking over him, and then I'd like make a mistake with my bet, and she would hit me with a very like me sigh. She'd be like, "Sir, like you can't do that." And why?
I mean, that was okay, right?
It cost us the ability to get the game-winning trinket or a rune on the way back up.
Oh, it was on that floor.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a telepil. It was not intentional.
Well, that's, you know.
I was gambling.
That's why you don't take it and use it. I don't know when you come back, though.
Wait, so did you like, is that when you say you rolled 7 like 10 times in a row and walked home with like 3G in your back pocket?
No, after like the third time, she kind of was snippy with me. I just said, fine, forget it. I walked away from the table. I was like, if you don't want me to give my money to your employer, then I'll be happy to leave.
But you didn't say that. You just said, hey, give me my player's card and I'll see you tomorrow.
Well, I didn't even have a player's card. I just took my chips and like I went to the roulette table where everyone was just having a good time, like hoping their number came up.
See, like to me, that is like the worst odds. Like at least on a slot machine, you got a chance.
What are you talking about? Is the worst odds?
1 out of 36. That's
it's not
even
one
a real
out of.
chance.
It's 1 out of 36, but you get 35x if your number comes up.
Yeah.
They're all bad.
Well, at least on a slot machine, you got a chance to get some dopamine.
What are you talking about? It's.
What do you mean? On roulette, you have a 1 in 36 chance to win.
If you bet on a single number, sure, you have a 1 in 36 chance to win.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know you were Mr. Red Black then.
Well, I mean, what? I mean, I'm just trying to be literally correct here.
Well, Red Black is not 50-50.
No, it's like, 40-48 or something like that.
Yeah.
But a slot machine is not 50-50 either. It's just it's more like 52-48 or 55-45.
False. Either you win or you lose, so it's 50-50.
They're all, I mean, I know that you know this. They're all balanced basically around the same kind of rake.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I think there is a part of you that's like, you're not going to win, like, $350,000 at the roulette table. Whereas you could do it on a progressive slot machine. But let me run something by you. They also rig the odds of the progressive jackpot on the slot machine so that your odds of winning the $350,000 are so proportionally low that statistically speaking, you'd have to put in $355,000 to actually win the jackpot.
I agree with that, but you got a chance to go to the moon with one pull of the arm. With one roll of the dice, you're not going to the moon.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. That's why you go to Vegas.
But your chance is don't get me wrong, like I don't buy lottery tickets, but I can understand part of the appeal of the lottery ticket, which is that, if you win, it means a lot more to win the, $70 million lotto max than it does to, go 30x on a $100 bet. But your odds of winning the $70 million jackpot are, 20 million times less likely.
Well, here's my thing, though, and I'm going to go a little deep here. Okay. Would you want to win $70 million?
Yes.
So if someone could give you a check tomorrow for $70 million, you would take it?
Is this a hot take? Am I?
No. I'm genuinely interested.
So there's a very funny tweet that is like, it's if you had the choice between $100 million or a book that said how to make $100 million, which one would you choose? And the impetus is that the person is like, it's sad how many people would just take the $100 million. And that's kind of how I feel with what's happening right now. It's like...
No, but don't you, I mean, you used to get VH1 or whatever it's called, ZX7 in Canada. You know, they always have the stories about people win the lottery and then like, they go down the toilet. You don't think that would happen?
No.
What is that?
I think it's just you get one extra life.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucks, by the way. I didn't realize you'd be, you know, sunk for the rest of the run here.
Well, if we win, we go sub 30. I'm about that life.
It's possible,
but don't you think if someone gave you a $70 million check, your motivation would plummet?
Yeah, but I feel like it would be worth it to have 70 million. Like, it introduces a higher order problem into your life.
Which means what to the non-DAE person?
Well, I mean, like, I'm not trying to phrase it like I'm, you know, struggling here. But even, you know, in a comfortable position, $70 million would solve a lot of stuff in your life. Like, you know, we wouldn't be so worried about, like, you know, having to make sure everything's set up for retirement and stuff like that. And, you know, if we want, like, my in-laws to move here, you know, at some point in their life, like, how are we going to make that happen via, like, a financial plan? Like, those already fairly first world problems become, like, zero with world problems, which is like, I don't feel like doing anything today. But I guess I'll just get on my yacht or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So I think, like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Like, I do feel like, all right, fair enough.
You're coming back.
I do feel like some people, you know, well, I mean, you know, I hate to say it this way because this is kind of like, it's more than kind of insulting, but I feel like the kind of people, like, psychologically that spend a lot of money on lottery tickets to begin with, like, maybe are predisposed to their dream of what wealth looks like is like buying a new car every day or something like that. So you're just stuck down there, huh?
Yeah, I thought I would come back since you beat Dogma.
That's funny. Not everybody, of course, and I feel for, like, if you win the lottery and then, like, your family that you haven't seen in 20 years starts, like, hounding you for money. I definitely understand, like, you know, you see professional athletes fall into, like, the same thing. Just like, hey, you sign that, like, that first big money contract, and all of a sudden, like, every cousin that you sat at the kids' table with for 5 minutes when you were a kid is like, hey, how about, like, you know, you give me $250,000, and, you know, you're like, yeah, that's what I do. Like, I support my family. So,
I don't know.
So you wouldn't want the 70 million. You would be like, no, thanks.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I think, like, to echo your sentiments, you know, I just think it's dangerous, you know, because, like, what do you do every day? Like, let's say you had 70 million. What are you doing every day?
So the glib answer is, like, whatever I want, but yeah. I actually do understand with what you're saying. Like, even if I would probably still do what I do right now for at least a length of time, because I don't have any hobbies. But if I started to cultivate some hobbies, I would definitely, like, it would change my life in that sense. But I mean, what I might just do the same thing I do now, but also have, like, 70 million extra dollars, you know? I think as long as you don't let it become, like, a negative to your life, then it doesn't have to become a negative to your life. But then also, we're in, as you and I have said many times, you know, most days, this is, like, basically the best job you could ever ask for. Like, this is the kind of job that, like, if you gave other people $70 million, they would be like, maybe I'd stream now and then. So I think we're coming at this from, like, an extreme outlier situation to begin with. But if I, you know, if I worked as, like,
as we sit here and just talk and play a video game.
Yeah, and people are like, you changed my life, thank you so much, here's you know, $200. You know? That's why I'm not trying to act like, oh, like, It's not life-changing money. I don't think I'd change my lifestyle at all, right? But
wouldn't you worry that would wreck it? Like to me, like I like life now, and I'd worry that would wreck life.
I guess I just don't see why you couldn't just do the same thing you're doing right now, but with the added extraordinary financial security of like guaranteed generational wealth.
Yeah, but let me just pose this devil's advocate situation to you.
Okay.
You're streaming one day, and someone just gives you a snide remark. What's to stop you from saying, you know what? I'm out of here. Delete your Twitch channel. You're gone.
But you have the luxury to do that as well.
Dude, we're gonna win this. And by we're, I mean you.
Dude, you're shooting there. Look at that. This guy's not that hard. Like it's, You putting down a sick beat there.
I wonder if Eddie drew this guy.
I think he drew like everything in the game, right?
No.
Really?
No. But no way. I mean, maybe conceptually, but actually putting the squares to the pixel.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but
like actually, like maybe he drew it on paper. Oh, nice.
Are you capable of moving during the whirlpool phase where he just starts sucking up?
I can try.
Because if you can stay, my screen region's a little messed up in Isaac, like my resolution's kind of wonky. If you can move as far to the left as possible in that, we will win for sure.
Okay. When he sucks. Okay.
Look, time.
Oh, I didn't know the time.
And a white beam of light reached down.
It was good. It was our first win in like a month.
Yeah, it turns out when we're not playing Lost, Tainted Lost, like we're not so bad.
So I got a theoretical bone to pick with you.
Oh, okay.
And you just snap the bone in half right there.
What's that?
I think we've talked about it, but like you had no interest in the ending. The first time you saw the ending, you were like cracking jokes about guacamole and corn chips.
Right. Yeah. I mean, how many times you gotta? Are you the kind of guy you watch a movie, you go to YouTube afterwards and look up the best bits?
I go to IMDb and I read the trivia immediately after.
You know what I watched yesterday? White Chicks. Da 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 da. And I need you. Da 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 da. And I miss you. Da 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 da.
Did you inherit 70 million in the past 48 hours?
I had to set a bunch of videos, and I was like, I watched Norbit like 2 days ago. Let's put on another movie that's kind of in a similar oeuvre, I will. And yeah, not a fantastic movie, but there's some stuff in it.
Respect. That was a good run.
Yeah. What do you think? We're doing one more of this or straight into Chivalry?